educated. I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out.
So I'ma go and tell y'all. His name is Ralph Turpin, also known as Teezy, THF Teezy. I know him as Tom. He was the one that saw my baby downtown, watched him from across the street, and lied and told them motherfuckers knowing they had a 100K bounty on my son's head.
I'm talking about the big question that everybody been wondering about, like who dropped FBG Duck location. Now, from my understanding, they saying that, or the reports is coming out that a brother by the name of THF Teezy witnessed Duck in the Gold Coast, but Duck ain't see him. And once he seen Duck, he got right on the phone. He made phone calls and he did text messaging, letting Duck ops know that, hey, look, FBG Duck is down here at the Gold Coast. Now, from my understanding and the words that, people are telling me is that he was like narrating them like the whole time. Like, okay, he over here, he right there. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense to me because you can't just say, okay, I just text them and say, hey, I just seen Duck in the Gold Coast. You can't just do that because like that's a sizable area. You know what I'm saying? Like where at the Gold Coast? What part? You know what I'm saying? And from my understanding, them boys went exactly to where Duck was at. I'm talking about to his exact location. So from my understanding and what people are telling me, they saying that this man right here was giving them great detail. I'm talking about like blow by blow, like, okay, he here, he there, they going into this store, they in this type of car, and stuff like that. Like he was saying, I'm talking about, he didn't just drop the low. He was like giving them, I'm talking about intel. You know how they say in the military that he was giving them great intel. Like, okay, this is what he got on, this who he with, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, it makes sense to me because they went directly to where Duck was. It wasn't no searching downtown looking for Duck. Like, we know he downtown. We finna be riding around looking downtown. No, came straight to the man. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it makes sense to me. Now, the cold-blooded part about this whole thing is this right here, man, that Duck ain't see them or Duck ain't see him. But the whole time he's somewhere watching Duck. Now, I'm talking about like when you in that lifestyle, bruh, when you at war with somebody, you know what I'm saying, and people done died and stuff like that, like you gotta be alert 24/7. You can't never sleep. You can't never, I'm talking about, you got to be on alert. I don't care if you going into church, going inside church, going outside church, while you in church, you got to be alert because you never know who dropping your low. You never know who is friends with the ops that want to kill you. You never know. It could be somebody close to you. It can be somebody far from you. It could be a woman. Sometimes it can even be a family member. And for Duck not to see him, and he seeing Duck giving them all that great intel for them to come and kill him, it just lets you know that, man, like you can't lack in these streets when you playing in the streets like that. You can't lack whatsoever because all it takes is just that one time for you to slip, and it can cost you your life. It's just that simple. Now, a lot of people are saying this right here. They like, hey, how could they arrest him and charge him with anything when THF Teezy ain't do nothing? He ain't the ones that jumped out the car and shot at FBG Duck, and shot Duck. He didn't do none of that, right? Now, we got to understand something about how the legal system works and how the law works. Have y'all ever seen the first 48 or any type of crime, TV shows where the woman or a man set somebody up to get robbed, right? We're going to use this for an example. Set somebody up to get robbed. The people that he set them up with or she set them up with, they go in there to rob them, but then they kill them, right? And then everything comes back on the person that set it up. It comes back on them. And the person that set it up, the first thing they say is, I didn't know they was gonna kill him. Yeah, I set the robbery up. Yeah, I wanted them to go in there and take his stuff, or I wanted them to go scare him or whatever, but I didn't know they was gonna kill him. And the police, they don't care about that. Detectives, they don't care about that. The prosecuting attorney, they don't care about what you didn't believe what was gonna happen. As long as you participated in the crime, you just as guilty as the ones that committed the murder. So here it is. We got THF Teezy dropping the location. And probably in his mind, he understood what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? Because he know that they ops. Everybody, I'm talking about everybody in the world. I'm talking about all over in Europe. They understand that FBG and O Block don't get along. They have a public war. They killing each other, and the public know about it, right? This is public information. As much as gang members and stuff like that try to keep stuff on the low. No, this O Block and FBG case, this O Block and FBG war is a public war. I'm all the way in Minneapolis, in Minnesota. How I know about it? You got people over in Europe talking about it. You see what I'm saying? So this is a public war. So now, for him to give that information to the ops, you see what I'm saying? The prosecuting attorneys and the detectives, it's easy. It's 1 + 1. They can put that together and say, you knew what you was doing when you did that. What, THF Teezy, what made you call them and tell them that you seen FBG Duck downtown? What was your reasoning for that? You know that they are not cool. Everybody in Chicago know that these are warring gangs. Everybody understand this, right? Now, that's just one thing. But we got to understand something, right? It's not just that simple. And let me elaborate on that. Because let's just say if you just an innocent bystander and you seen somebody like, hey, there go FBG Duck, and you called a friend and say, hey man, I just seen FBG Duck. And that friend went and told somebody and somebody came and killed FBG Duck, then that person right there might not be liable for that because he was innocent. They can't prove that, his intentions was for him to be murdered and for him to be harmed and stuff like that, because he's just a fan. He's not a gang member. He has no connection to other ops or none of that type of stuff. He's just an innocent bystander, just happy to see a superstar, and he told somebody and somebody else told somebody, and then they came and killed him. So what the FBI have to do, they have to prove that THF Teezy understood what he was doing. They got to prove that he knew what could happen. Okay? They got to. And the only way that they can prove that is this right here. The digital imprint, him giving them all the details and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? What they said after the killing happened, you know what I mean? What he texted them or what they talked about or whatever after the killing happened. And they can show that, oh, okay then, through the text messages that, oh, you knew what was going to happen and that's why you gave them the information. But here's my thing right here, y'all. I don't believe that they did that. I don't believe that they used text messages to arrest THF Teezy. And let me explain to y'all why. I believe that if that was the case, he would have been locked up a long time ago. He would have been locked up a long time ago because we talking about the feds. The feds ain't gonna take that long to put one plus one together. They gonna, okay, the first thing they gonna do, they gonna attack them phones. Listen to me, y'all, when I say this. I'm telling y'all, listen, the first thing the police do nowadays when they arrest somebody for a serious crime is confiscate the phone. That's the first thing that they do. Why? Because that phone has so much information in it. So much. With the GPS and with the text messaging, with the calling, with the numbers. It's just so much information in that phone that can help them convict people. So that's why that's the first thing that they come for. So the feds, come on, man, they gonna grab them phones and they gonna do the connection. They would have been seen that. They would have been grabbed whoever he texted, whoever he called, whoever he continued to text and call. They would have been grabbed them phones and they would have connected that. So I don't believe it was the phones. I'm gonna tell y'all what I believe. I believe that some pressure is being applied on some of them boys that's locked up. The old Block 5 that's locked up right now for FBG Duck murder. I believe it's some pressure being applied. And I believe that one of them inside of there is doing some of this. It's too much pressure going on. Because all of a sudden now, right, they get THF Teezy. What has it been, 2 years? How long has it been, y'all? It's been a minute. All of a sudden now, oh, okay, man, oh, he the one plugged it up? Because we got to understand, if somebody that's locked up can say that, hey, like, how did y'all know? Because that's the question. How did y'all know? Who told y'all that FBG Duck was downtown? That was the world question. So you got to know the FBI and the police thinking the same thing. Like, how did y'all know? Who told y'all this? And somebody, if not one, could be two, could be three, who knows? Hey man, look, it was THF Teezy. He the one told us. All they got to do is hit that more than one time and they coming to get him. Then not only that, if they can just get one of those phones and then connect it, like, okay, so what was his number? All right, then, and what was your number? Even though they done destroyed the phones, that don't mean nothing to the feds. Y'all can destroy the phones all you want to. They going to the carriers. They going to Verizon and T-Mobile and AT&T and Boost and all them. Hey, this phone number right here, yeah, we need all the text messages from this date to that date right there. Yeah, we need all that electronic information from that date right there. Yeah, they don't need the phone. All they need is the number to connect it. Once they do that, it's over with. Okay, they going to the carrier. Hey, look, yeah, let us get that. And not only that, what was that phone pinging at the time of the crime? Yeah, come on, y'all, this technology. You know what I'm saying? So once they connected that, then they say, okay, yeah, we got enough to go and get him. We got enough to go get him. And I believe that's exactly what happened. And that's just my belief. I mean, like, y'all ain't got to agree with me or nothing like that. That's just my portion of understanding. Y'all might have a different understanding. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But I'm just giving y'all my portion of understanding and what I believe. You know, things that make sense to me. Now, the cold-blooded part, though, is that, man, FBG Duck didn't see him. He ain't see him, bruh, until it was too late. By the time he seen him, they was already on him. They was already out there. And like I say, man, playing in them streets and living this life, man, you got to be on top of your square. If you ain't on your square and you ain't seeing what's going on, they gonna get up on you and they gonna do you bad, man. But let this be a lesson. Let this right here be a lesson, man, to you young brothers out there, and then some of you classic brothers out there, and then some of you women that just think that you just dropping somebody low, because that dropping the low done became so popular, like people just think like it's cool to do. Understand something, man. When you dropping somebody's location that's at war with other people, you can potentially get that person killed. And some of us, or some of y'all out there, you dropping the low and you know what's gonna happen. You gotta understand something, man. Like once you drop somebody low and they end up getting killed, you are involved now. You might as well did the killing yourself. You are involved. You are attached to the crime. And if the police find out that you dropped that low, they gonna do you just like they doing THF Teezy right now. So learn from this. Beware of that. And mind your business. You know they at war. What is your business to be dropping somebody low and all that old type of stuff for? Man, leave that alone. Unless you want to go to jail and you like, being in jail and stuff like that. Then hey, that's your thing. But if you don't want to go to jail for something that you ain't really participated in, then don't do it. Because if you drop somebody low and they end up getting shot, killed, you might as well did it yourself. This is Hood Educated, not Lane Related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, please hit that subscribe button and give me a like. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Now, before I depart, allow me to give a shout out to some of the blessings that I received this week. Let me give a shout out to Jim Kennedy for the $25 Venmo. Thank you, and I really appreciate that. Let me give a shout out to A. Rivera for the $50 Venmo. Thank you, and I really appreciate that. Let me give a shout out to the homegirl, OG Shot-Town Dub Sweetie for the $25 Cash App. Thank you, I really appreciate that, sister. Let me give a shout out to Jay Hay for the $30 Cash App. I really appreciate that, Jay Hay. Thank you a lot. Thank everybody for the donations. And let me give a shout out to the big dog, Heyman Burton Jr. for the $1 Cash App. Appreciate all the love and support. And allow me to say something. A lot of people, they would like to make donations to the channel and they would like to remain anonymous. They won't want me to say their names and stuff like that. So please, if you want to remain anonymous, just make your donation and just leave me a message and just say, hey, Hood Educated. Don't say my name, man. Just keep this on the low or whatever. And then, we'll keep it like that, man, because I respect that. Now, this is Hood Educated, not Lane Related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there.